Welcome back to Hidden Power. This is a Pokemon podcast, and today we are going to be commenting on the Pal World controversy. This isn't going to be that dramatic, but we do want to share our ideas. We got a lot of thoughts. Pal World is selling very well. Everyone's playing it. It's being accused of being a Pokemon ripoff. There's a lot to talk about. My name is Dusty Gogoat. I'm also with the Lumios Post.
Hello.
And Soul Silver Art.
What's up?
What's up, guys? It's been a fun week. I've had Pal World on the mind. I went, I started out wanting to make a 2-hour video about it. As the days, a tier list as the days progressed, as it started to, I think it broke a record on Steam for the amount of sales that it's made. There's been so much discourse. I don't even know where to begin, but I just wanted to take this time to at least throw our hat in the ring and just share some of our comments, our thoughts, our ideas. Lumi, do you want to start this off? I know you've got a lot of ideas.
Sure. Okay, well, I guess first, this is my last videos. Lumios Post is gonna get killed after this. But no matter what side you're on, there's death threats. Seriously.
Yeah. Let's so just for context, if anyone is unfamiliar, I mean, I don't see how you would be unfamiliar. But
right.
There's a new monster catching game that has released. It's called Pal World. I don't even know what the developer is, but they are being accused.
Well, we don't want to promote them. So
yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, that's a good point. So they are being accused, and you'll see what we think of direct plagiarism. There's accusations of AI, and the problem there is that the AI is literally stealing model elements, right, to create their monsters. And also, I'm pretty sure there's been a bunch of other games that they've created that have also stolen assets from, or at least, again, it's all accusations. I don't really know. It's up to you guys, of stealing from The Legend of Zelda and various other games. So that's the big conversation is this company stealing from Pokemon? Lumi, fired off.
Okay, so, all right, so my thoughts are, I actually pulled up a couple of things to kind of reference.
Great.
But I don't know if I'll reference them, but maybe I will. I pulled them up in case. So I'm nervous. Can you tell?
Don't be nervous.
So
it's harder when you're just saying it.
I cannot attest to the AI stuff because I honestly, to be frank with you, I don't know a lot about AI art. I don't know a lot about the downsides to it. So I'm just kind of, I don't want to swing one way or the other, you know what I mean, on AI. But yeah. I will swing one way on theft because, and y'all can quote me on this, I think stealing is wrong, and I'm not ashamed who knows it. But there are, I mean, dude, like some of these creatures are like blatant, like rip-offs of Pokemon, right? And
yeah.
Like to a point that's a little jarring. Like it's not just, and there's been debates. I've seen some people go, Pokemon doesn't own lamb, so them using a lamb doesn't mean that it was stolen from Pokemon. Absolutely not. I think the lamb example is actually one of their more innocent examples. But like the grass rabbit,
dude,
is Cinderace.
That's
think Cinderace. The Luxray lion, which I've heard some people say that lion actually isn't in the game and it was just in like trailers. But either way, it shows that they're, in the business of it was a blatant Luxray ripoff. And I think, a lot of people will be like, oh, so people, these are the arguments I've seen. I've seen people go, oh, well, they can't steal from Game Freak. Game Freak's this big company who runs a monopoly. It's not about that. Imagine that. Because there are a lot of artists in the Pokemon community. I imagine there's many who watch art. In fact, I know there's a lot who watch our stuff. So imagine you're an artist and, I would think this would be a dream for an artist. Game Freak reaches out to you. It's like, we want you to design Pokemon for us. That's awesome. So you design something for them. Your Pokemon makes it into the game. Gen 10, that water starter, you drew it. And then these people make a copy of it and are profiting off that. So it's not, I am not like, oh, let's protect the Pokemon company, stop stealing from them. I'm thinking about James Turner. I'm thinking about, the individual artists that are getting their work stolen. That's what's important to me.
even if you were protecting the Pokemon Company, like, what's the problem? It's still their stuff. It's like, who cares if they make a ton of money? This is still theirs. They're still taking
Walmart makes a ton of money. Shoplifting is still not okay.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. I don't like the whole like, oh, these people are just defending. We're not defending the Pokemon Company. It's fine if you do defend the Pokemon Company.
I'm defending.
It is wrong.
I'm against theft. I don't care whose side is being stolen from and whose side is stealing. I'm against theft.
Yeah, and I think, and I'm trying to pull up like some actual images. I should have pulled up some images, but I think the biggest thing for me is that it just kind of blows my mind. I think people are missing the point, right? I feel like the main point, or at least when we're looking at the art theft, right? It's not that the creatures are one-to-one copies of other Pokemon. I think there are a couple Pokemon that kind of fall into that, right?
Sure.
But for the most part, right, and this is the thing that blows my mind, because like I was watching like Ludwig's video on it, for example, right? And maybe he just like it wasn't aware, right? This might be a thing where, because the controversy has reached so many people, that people who don't really follow Pokemon that well are just not aware of it, or what all of these Pokemon designs are. But when I look at any of these Palworld creatures, I feel like 80% of each of the designs incorporate like 3 to 7 direct features from other Pokemon. Yeah. They're all fusions. They're not. It's not like one-to-one. It's not like, because I'll see people like compare one Pal to one Pokemon, and they're like, it's kind of a stretch. I don't really see it. Yeah, it's Meowth's face, but I'm like, no. If you like all the diagrams, images that I'm seeing on Twitter, they don't do it justice, because it's literally like this Palworld, or this Pal, whatever they're called, right? It has 5 elements that are directly ripped from other Pokemon. That's the that is the
aside
theft.
from the Galarian Meowth face, there's the skitty ears, right?
Yes, exactly. And I feel like, because this has reached so many people, a lot of people just maybe aren't aware, which is totally fine, right? It's not like those people. That's not bad. Listen, I think what this conversation has also done, and this is really kind of a separate conversation, is that there's plenty of things in the world that I'm not aware of, right? And there's plenty of things in the world that I'm pretty sure are awful, and I'm not aware of them. So when people bring them up, I probably go, I don't really see the big deal, because I'm not invested in it and it doesn't affect me directly, or I'm not aware of it, right? So, and those are probably things that you should also probably care more about. That's one of my points right there. I'm gonna try to pull some images.
I don't know if you're done, Lumi, or not. I don't know if you still
want
to say.
I'm done. I have lots of thoughts, but I've pretty much gotten the gist of it out.
This has like just become something bigger than it even.
Should
it is huge, but like there's so many conversations to be had about it.
That's something I pulled up. Eclipse posted, in 4 days, Palworld beat the total sellings of the first week of Sword and Shield and BDSP, and by now it may have passed 6.5 million, which means it would have beaten the first week sales of Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
So when that happens, people should be like, oh,
right.
It's crazy. But on that point, actually, I was playing Fortnite with my friends like 2 nights ago or something. And they don't play anything else. They just, Call of Duty, Fortnite kind of people. Sure. They're like older, whatever. They're like, did you see that new Pokemon with guns game? Yeah. Like it's supposed to be really good, and people are going crazy. I'm like, wait, how do you know about this?
Yeah,
I was so shocked that they even knew about this game.
It's massive,
right.
Dude.
It's IGN, Dexerto are covering it, which like are not Pokemon specific news sources, right?
Yeah.
When people are like, talking about it is kind of like supporting it. Yeah, but also
that's so stupid.
Too late.
No,
like,
it's not.
It's already happening.
It's already
happening,
bro. Right. That triggers me. That is not it at all.
There are so many triggers in this whole conversation for multiple reasons.
The funny thing to me is like you actually have some people. In fact, you have some certain people known for getting into drama here on the Pokemon YouTube community.
Yeah.
Who are using this to build up. And in fairness to this person, I actually think, I don't even know if they actually believe this stuff. I kind of think they just are feeding into their role.
I don't even know what we're talking about. Don't tell me.
Felicify.
Oh, sure. I don't
Oh,
follow
you
it.
just name dropped him. We're gonna cut this part.
We gotta cut
you
it.
You can if you want.
Yeah, I don't believe in it. Talking about Pal World does not promote it, but talking about Verlisify, I'm gonna bleep all this.
Okay, that's fine. You can. Either way, I was just gonna say, like, I think that there are people who, like, in his case, I think he's just actually like feeding into the drama because I think that's his role.
I think a lot of people do.
That's how he gets, his viewings. But there are people who are genuinely like saying, "Oh, Pokemon's gonna be dead from Pal World," and that to me is so funny because the thing why that's so stupid is exactly what you just said, Soul. You said that your friends who don't play other games, so they don't know, they don't play. Do they play Pokemon? I'm assuming they don't even play those. Okay,
they just know it from like when they were kids, and
they call Pal World Pokemon with guns.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So like
exactly. Yeah.
That's as long as something is going to be called Pokemon with blank or this but Pokemon or Pokemon but this. Pokemon, come on.
It reigns supreme.
I think another point though is like
if we start seeing Gen 10 come out and people go, it's Pal World without guns, then we've got a problem.
Well, there really is so much to talk about because like one of the first things that I saw last week was people were saying like, yeah, don't talk about it, don't play it, and I think that's silly. I think it's like, all right, whatever, like you can play.
I think
that's totally fine. It's not that big of a deal.
I do think like not.
I do think not buying it.
Yeah. I'll give my thoughts, even though there's many of them. First of all, on the topic of like this affecting other people, the IGN article was awful, and I think that should not have happened. Like they just threw a whole bunch of Twitter people like under the bus.
I
like
forgot about
just completely group people together. There was an IGN article that like just was like Pokemon fans.
Sure,
are, like,
it basically put out like a hit list. Like,
and they used people that did not consent to being used in it. You know what I mean? Like this is not something, So anyway, that was a whole thing. I think that was really stupid. But
though of course that's not on Pal World. That's on IGN.
Yeah, for sure. I have a whole thing written up and I want to post it, but I'm scared of posting it because my take is super like mixed. I'm very mixed.
I'm mixed
about
too,
the whole thing.
dude. I'm mixed too.
I think that I think there's two main things. Like it's plagiarism, but it's not legal plagiarism because the whole thing of like changing the design enough times to make it something new is a thing. Like they change those designs enough to make them new. So they're kind of their own thing. But then there's the ones that actually literally reuse the model assets. And that is actually stealing them. Like I agree, that is actually stealing them and wrong. And the problem with that is that's way less designs than people are saying. Like what they did is they just mashed them up. They made so many of them. But the ones like Meowth's eyes, that one I posted yesterday was Corviknight. Like literally it's Corviknight's feet.
Yes,
like,
I saw that. Well, I think
that kind of
that's the thing, right? Like, because like here, let me show you this right here. This is the image that is like hilarious to me. Why people are even still referencing this as like a point against people who are trying to say Pal World is stealing, right? They're saying Pokemon has stolen from Dragon Quest. But the very obvious thing here is that there are literally no design elements that are the same. Or if they are the same, they are shaped differently. I want
to shout out Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan made a great point about this. She said, I think a plagiarism test for art should be something like this. 1, does it have the same proportions? 2, the same details. 3, the same color palette. 4, the same aesthetic. 5, could it rationally be a coincidence? And she said, note that I do not mention same concept. So like someone says
concepts are free.
Right.
I feel like you can do whatever you want with a concept.
Saying, well, same details kind of gray because I could ask to name a beetle Pokemon or Pal, and those are like that's a beetle. And Jordan said, but beetle isn't detail. Beetle is concept.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And even some of those things, like for example, on here you've got the Ammonite with the little other thing. What they're basing that off of, that thing has a shell.
Yeah.
So like
Slowbro is
Ammonite
also a
having
reference
a
to
shell
this.
doesn't mean it stole it from Dragon
Yeah.
Quest. It means that it's based off that thing.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear that what I'm talking about is not like they're basing like them off of a similar thing. You know what I mean? Like it's
Sure.
not what was the last line that she said? Like they're not
She said, could it rationally be a coincidence? Note that I do not mention same concept.
same concept. So like I'm not saying that they tried to do like, oh, this is gonna be our lion Pokemon and it looks just like Luxray. I think they blatantly
Took
Pokemon
elements.
design. Like they were like, we're gonna use the Pokemon and we're gonna mix them all together to create something new. And that is like the copyright rule, like 101, at least in America. It's like take something and change 10 things about it, and then it's yours. Like then you can have it. And I mean that's might be scummy to a lot of people, but a lot of people also buy people's merch that do exactly that.
Yeah.
So it's not like
make sure you check out our merch store. No,
it's
just
not
kidding.
like actually we just like blatantly we're just like
Yeah.
blatantly selling like Pokemon designs.
But I'd say on the flip side, we're also promoting their game.
Well, no. So
You know what I mean?
no. So here's the thing.
Like,
Here's the
if
thing.
anything, we're a partner with Pokemon.
Listen, no. So this is my. So this is the thing that maybe will make people scream at you guys, but they should just scream at me, guys. Here's the thing. This is I'm like actually I'm getting mad right now. Don't even say I'm a hypocrite because here's the thing. I'm
You're
a
a hypocrite.
It wasn't gonna be dramatic.
Listen, yeah, listen. Here we go. All right, I need to
said that at the
stand up for
beginning, I
this.
was
It's
like,
not dramatic. All right, guys. Here's the thing. We all love Pokemon. If you like Fakemon, what is that? Fakemon are literally what a Pal World is, right?
The point is that they're not selling them though, really.
Yes,
I mean, some
but
people
guess
do,
what? Guess
but
what?
Are they called pals? What are they called?
Pals.
The little creatures.
They're pals.
Called pals. Okay.
Listen, if and I'm not calling anyone out because I think it is a gray area, right? I commission artists
It
to
is a
create
gray area. That's
Fakemon
my point too.
that are evolutions of Pokemon that exist, right? And I'm paying for it to happen. I'm not directly selling it, but I'm making content about it, right? There's thousands of people who make their own Fakemon, who grow their own following, right? Who make their own videos, whatever, right? They sell their own merch. They get supported. It's all indirectly. So what is that gray area? I think this is the thing that like kind of frustrates me a lot.
There's a line that you can't cross, basically, and I think that they have crossed it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, other designs haven't. Like basically, there's like maybe 10 that take exactly like 1-to-1 the same exact models, and those should be hit a lawsuit. You know, but some of the other ones that are like. Another big thing is that people say like, look at that Vulpix. You tell
These
me
look
that
nothing
looks like
alike.
Vulpix? No,
Yeah,
they look
those are
nothing
totally
alike.
different. Right.
I posted the little Ray one because I think it's adorable, and I think it does have like lanterns eyes.
This one?
But no, it's like a manta ray. But everyone's like, that's Mantike. I'm like, no,
Yeah,
that's
no, it
that's
absolutely
a
isn't.
Mantike.
No, it's not.
not.
So
see,
the-
that's the
Mantike.
issue too.
Like
That's the
this
issue,
one
too,
right
is
here?
The people arguing what I'm arguing are hurting our side of the argument because they're kind of going too extreme with it and saying like, oh, this and this are exactly the same, and it's like, no, those are just both like
yeah.
foxes.
I
But then,
see
like,
I see
stick to the
Unfezant.
points of
I see Braviary. I see
Staraptor, maybe.
Staraptor. Like there's a lot of different inspirations, but the difference, the problem.
Wait, go back to Staraptor one for a second and hold your thought. I just want to say
Staraptor.
this
Which
is
one
a
is that? Yeah,
perfect
this one.
that one. This is a perfect example. People can't even like
pinpoint which one it
distinguish.
is.
Yeah, they're like this one says that it's Braviary. I've never seen Braviary once in this design. I'm like, this is Staraptor.
I guess
But
the
really,
color scheme. But
It's the
that's
color
it.
scheme.
they mixed it enough to be its own thing.
Sure.
Yes,
Also,
it
the
looks
like individual feathers, I guess.
Like, this
but
one's
Yeah.
not a
still.
yeah. The
yes, it looks like one,
Yeah.
but it
That
still
reminds
is its
me
own
of
thing.
Como-O. Is
it
that
does,
weird?
dude.
It
It
does a
does.
little
It
bit.
does. It
Okay.
does.
The thing that we're talking about is like ethical plagiarism.
Yes,
Did
this
they
is the thing.
intend?
It's ethical.
Did they intend to steal these? Yes, they did. Can
Right.
they get away with it?
Probably.
Pretty much, yes. Yes, they can get
I'm
away
wondering-
with it. I think.
I
don't know.
looked up. So
Like this is so
the
different.
company that developed this game is Pocket
Bowser.
Pair Inc.
To me. Yeah, I thought.
Pocket Pair Inc. is based in Tokyo, Japan. So I'd wonder what, we talked about in a Patreon video. We talked about hacking Mons and how
I like this.
there's a lot of there's a lot of laws in Japan against hacking mons. Like a guy literally, went to jail over a hack Sobble. But I'm wondering what their rules are on like this kind of plagiarism stuff, because this is a Japan-based company. So
that's
hypothetically, it'd be easy for Pokemon to drop a lawsuit.
Yeah, there's so many
people
topics
aren't doing
because that's
so many of these don't look similar.
No,
right? Like, what the heck is this? This looks nothing alike. The only nothing alike.
No.
But the thing it does have is Empoleon. It literally is like an asset ripped from Empoleon's forehead.
It looks out of place there. You're right.
Right.
It looks like it's just been.
So listen, I think it's super complicated. I think people are getting up in arms. I don't think Pokemon's in any threat of anything. No. I do think there's a lot of moral gray areas because I love Fakemon. I love fan games. We even saw it today that someone made a mod of Palworld to include actual obvious Pokemon assets.
Interestingly enough, that got taken down.
It's not interesting because it is interesting. I'm not trying to say
the video got taken down. And I'm wondering, did Palworld DMCA that or did Nintendo?
No, it was Nintendo, and they took it down because it's undeniable. They don't need to go to court to say that's Ash Ketchum, right?
If Palworld did, I would laugh so hard that it was them taking it down.
But
it's like, y'all.
Well, if anything, it'd be like them trying to avoid fire from Nintendo, right? Like, guys, stop doing that.
I think all they need, for this design, obviously, the only thing, I feel like and if these are based on AI, this is the most obvious example. This thing was created by ripping assets from a bunch of different designs, right? Because it's literally
sure.
Yeah, I don't even see Inkay. I just see
the whole AI.
Its
the whole
eyes.
AI thing is a new topic because that is not confirmed that they used AI.
These are nothing alike. Sorry,
no, that's Grass Monkeys. Is Grookey a rip of Pansage?
Yeah, is Chimchar a rip of Seer?
Yeah,
I don't know.
The AI thing is if they did use AI to do this, then that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah,
but we have no confirmation of it, so it's people are just running wild with it's AI. I mean, you can assume that, but I don't know. Either way, if it's AI, that this just sets the worst standard for the gaming industry and art world in general, because then it's just this game was successful. That means you can use AI in any game, and then we just get trash. We just get trash. Exactly. Are these actually good? Are some of them are good?
Yeah,
some
of them are good, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The thing I am going back and forth because when I see this, I think I'm mostly outraged at people who are we didn't even say it. The gameplay seems to be nothing like Pokemon. Right? It's the game isn't even thing.
It's a survival game.
That's really not the
that's not the controversy
argument. Yeah.
Sure.
But
okay, so and the other flip side that I think could be really good, right? And I'm trying to get all these thoughts in really quick, so I'm just kind of bouncing around, not really completing. I'm not even completing my thoughts, but I think something positive that could come out of this, and there is precedence for it, is that Pokemon could actually look at this and the success of Palworld.
I don't agree with.
Listen to me. And they listen. It doesn't matter what Pokemon thinks. If Palworld shifts public consumption expectations, right? Pokemon will adapt, because we saw that with the introduction of Yokai Watch in the quote unquote threat of that game. Right? There was no threat. Pokemon's answer was to directly introduce and change up how they produced and gave us Pokemon Sun and Moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon introduced so many new changes to the franchise to keep things fresh. There were, your Rotom, your Pokedex for the first time was a Rotom Dex, which is a ghost possessing, your little device. That's what Yokai Watch is, literally. There's so many other gameplay elements in Sun and Moon that took inspiration from
Mega Evolution. A lot of people say came from Digimon. I don't know enough about Digimon to know either way.
I think the excitement and the appetite for Palworld, regardless of the ethics of their monster creations, I think this could potentially create a new appetite and an expectation for Gen 10. This game coming out after.
I hope not.
I'm not saying we're gonna get a survival game. I'm just saying
I don't want them to ever.
We got a Pokemon survival game. What are y'all talking about?
I just don't want them to ever look at this and be like, "Wow, that's what these people want. Let's do this."
I'm not saying
this trash. I don't want this game. Not even because of the ethical thing. I don't want it because I hate games that play like this. There's like zero story, and all you do is go around shooting things. And I'm like, bro, this is not for me in any way. And Pokemon, please, I don't want this.
I think regardless of what's ethical or not. I think maybe not in February, like literally next month, we're going to get a brand new Pokemon game or the announcement of a brand new game. And
Black and White,
and I'm telling you, that is going to be, however that looks graphically or whatever, however that performs, that is going to be directly compared to Palworld. Whether that's justified or not, it will be. And a lot of people are going to be looking at it like, wow, Game Freak still can't even make a good game, right? I think that's going to put pressure on the Gen 10 game to be like, okay, we need to adjust in some way, and that doesn't mean change what a Pokemon game is, but that does mean, I don't know. I haven't even played Palworld, but I know people are looking at it. The wider audience, non-Pokemon fans, are looking at this like, this is a fun game, and sure, it might be a fun game, right? But I think there's something there.
It might be a fun game to non-Pokemon fans. If you want to play this type of game, then you can go play Palworld. But I want to play my classic game. Pokemon.
Well, so that's
that's the thing.
That's one more point I think I just want to make real quick.
No, it is. It's a very important.
I think there's a lot of people championing Palworld, which is great. But I think
I don't think it's great.
No, I'm saying they can do whatever the heck they want, right? If they're playing the game, whatever. There's plenty of games. I don't play a lot of games. I play Pokemon. I like Pokemon for the creatures, for the story, for the lore, for that expanded whatever. And there's a lot of people who are sick of the games, the Pokemon games, because they are in a lot of ways stagnant, right? And this does go back to what I just said. There is a very slow pace that Pokemon games kind of evolve at, right? It's they're slow to adopt new things.
I think people changed and Pokemon hasn't, and that's the difference. Yeah. I think the new generation or whoever, even the old generation, just wants something new.
Yeah.
And Pokemon's just kind of like, but we like the way that we do things, and we're still giving you new stuff, but it's just not as what you're thinking. It's complicated.
Yeah, just so everyone's clear, because I've clearly had a negative stance towards this. I don't have anything against any other monster playing or monster catching, collecting games, monster related games. But I think, honestly, I think a great example of how to do it and how not to do it is Palworld is an example of how not to do it, because for the ethical reasons. I'm not saying the game plays bad or anything. I don't know. I haven't played it. But design wise, a lot of them are like Soul you talked about, direct asset rips and stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then not all of them, some people on Twitter suggest, but a good bit of them. This thing is definitely
awful. That is so ugly. That is
Cinderace. Come
Cinderace
on.
Is ugly.
But... yeah, that's also accurate. But I think a good example of how to do a monster collecting game is because you have some people who are like, don't do it because that's Pokemon's thing. No, Pokemon doesn't own that.
Yeah, that's silly.
Just no. Mario Kart doesn't own, racing games. They've made Nickelodeon racing games and stuff like that. But I say all this to say, I think Alestrals is a good way to, A-Drive's thing that he's building is a good way to count, because he's, for one, paying artists to make art for him instead of, ripping art from other people.
Yeah, and they're also not
their original designs.
Their original designs, yeah.
He because he was revealing designs last year, and he revealed a dolphin one. I do not remember its name, but obviously, that same year we got the reveal of Finizen and Palafin. It's very obvious that there is no crossover between those two, right?
Yeah, Hoops and Hip Hop, another friend of the show. He's creating his Strobe Chronicles, and again, he's made so many Pokemon designs in the past, and there's literally no crossover, theft, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
And you can tell he tried to go a
he
new
loves
direction
Pokemon.
with art than when he makes Fakemon, right?
Yeah, and here's a great way to tie the knot in the bolt, right? There's so many more things that I want to say. We're trying to keep this brief. It's already been 30 minutes. I think it really comes down to appreciation for Pokemon, and then like so a Fakemon, creating Fakemon or creating a ROM hack or whatever. That starts from an appreciation for Pokemon, and then again without selling it.
ROM hacks aren't
adding
for
to
profit,
it.
anyways. Yeah.
Yes, I know, but yeah,
and that's
yeah.
a big difference too.
No,
right?
that is a big difference.
Like
where
I would probably
with Pal
have
World,
more.
there's no appreciation. It's just a rip.
Right. I would have like more moral objections to say Pokemon Insurgents if they were trying to sell it for profit like it was another game, you know.
But you know what?
And for the record, in a way, they're still helping Pokemon, right? Because they're using their title in that
still
game.
Pokemon kind of.
You know what I mean? Like they're still saying it's Pokemon.
That's true. Yeah.
It's so controversial, this whole thing. Man.
Yeah. So
it's hard to say your thoughts and the right thing, and you know, it's difficult.
Either way, we're getting some death threats in our DMs tonight, apparently.
Probably. I am mixed on it. That's my final verdict.
Hey. All I've asked for, IGN, is if you put us on blast, can you at least tag our podcast?
Yeah, please.
Like,
actually, I don't know where to go. If IGN wants to use our stuff, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
that's
people
what I'm saying.
that use, man, they like, you know, that's some hardcore exposure
for sure.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments. You know, we can continue this conversation if you guys really want to hear it. But I don't know. The story is going to continue to developing, and we'll find out if Pokemon ever actually creates a lawsuit. Yeah, friends of the show are telling us.
Pokemon, just
yeah,
do it.
Do
it to us.
But yeah, let us know. Let us know if you've played Power World. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. You know, we'll see you soon. Thank you to all our Patreon supporters. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Please still love us.